Infinity Flux presents Dawn of DC Night Terrors pre-order special, part 2.
Part 2.
So we went over, I don't know how many there was.
It was about half and half.
But yeah, I think they split it about half. So we're going to be going over the other half. Very important you get your orders in for these because stores really have a hard time choosing how many of these to order because they're not ongoing titles. These are going to be 2-issue miniseries, and we don't always say, "Oh, we've got X number of people on Batman, so we're going to get this number of the Night Terrors Batman." So it's very helpful to let your store know which ones you're interested in. It helps their ordering a lot easier. Trust me, I do the orders. I need all the help I can get. So let's get into this new round of Night Terrors.
Night Terrors Action Comics #1. Leah Williams, Philip Kennedy Johnson doing the writing. Vasco Georgiev and MICO SUAYAN doing the art. So 2 different stories in this. Power Girl faces off against herself in her own nightmare realm. I don't know why she sees herself as her own worst nightmare, but that'll be interesting to find out. And then also the Super Twins. So the twins that Superman brought back from Warworld. They are also in the nightmare realm, just as everybody else is, and they are being hunted by a nightmare version of Cyborg Superman, which sounds really cool.
Let's say you've got Cyborg Superman, who's bad. Now, what's a nightmare?
Yeah, what's
version?
the worst version of him? We're gonna find out in this one. So this is our Rafa Sandoval A cover. We have our MICO SUAYAN B cover here. That's terrifying right there. Gerald PAREL C cover, and then the DUSTIN Midnight variant. Each one of these has a cover like this from
a Midnight variant. Next up, we have Night Terror's Angel Breaker. I think it's very interesting that Angel Breaker is getting her own 2-issue miniseries. The kind of one of the newest characters in the DC universe. In this one, this is written by Tim Seeley, and the art is by Aki Bright. And Angel Breaker, when we were going into Night Terrors, I thought everyone's asleep, but it sounds like there's some characters.
We know Zatanna and Robot Man aren't.
Yeah.
And
it sounds like Angel Breaker is also awake.
Okay.
And her and Raptor, if you know him from the Nightwing series, he was a member of Nightwing's group back then, are going to be infiltrating Cobra, not the G.I. Joe Cobra, but the Cobra with a K facility to steal.
That's how you know they mean business, because they have a K in their name, just like everybody else.
They are going in to steal a dream machine or a nightmare machine. So sounds really cool. And if you're a fan of this new character, she hasn't appeared in too much, but you got a little bit more over here. Here's our A cover. And then we have our Ivan Tao variant. We have our LEIRIX Lee variant. And the Midnight variant as well.
Next is Night Terrors Catwoman. Teenie Howard and LEILA Lees are the creative team on this one. So Catwoman killed a man named Valmont in order to save Batman, which she knows that he's not going to be happy with. But now that she's in the nightmare realm, she's going to be facing the consequences of her actions, which should be pretty cool. Maybe it involves a whole bunch of snakes. That looks creepy. So we have our LEILA Lee's A cover. That's the interior artist. We have our Tula Lotte B cover. Corin Howell is on the C cover, and then our Dustin Nguyen Midnight variant.
Okay, now we have Night Terror Detective Comics. So I'm very excited about this one. It looks really cool. So in this, we have Jim Gordon. I feel like this is actually more of a Jim Gordon story. This is written by Dan Waters, and it's Jim Gordon in his nightmare comes upon a ritual that's taking place where these creatures are around this clock. It's almost like you take pieces of the Batman mythos and you kind of move them around. So the clock and the time is very big for Batman. And it says these beings are like one of them is looks like it has like metal grafted to its skin. I think that's kind of the Batman we see here. And it says, what do they want with Jim Gordon's daughter Babs? So Fat Girl in this. It just sounds really fun. This is probably one of the scariest covers when you look at all these versions of these characters. So this is our A cover. And then we have our, this is the Bernard Chang variant, which It's supposed to be scary, but I feel like this one is like, oh, I want to see that guy as like a hero guy.
Yeah,
It's
he looks
really
funny.
cool. And then we have our Kyle Hotz variant.
That version doesn't look so funny.
No, no, I don't
He
want to
does
run
look
into
scary
that
there,
one.
yeah.
And then our Midnight version.
And then we have Night Terror's Nightwing. Night Terror's Nightwing. In this one, Dick Grayson wakes up in his nightmare realm to find out that he has murdered someone he loves. So that is not a
Oh.
good thing. That is not a good dream. And to make matters worse, humanoid pigs come to haunt him in the form of his childhood friends from Haley's Circus. So people that he knew in Haley's Circus growing up, they're going to be haunting him, but they're like little pig creatures, but they're going to be playing those parts of his friend. So that sounds
That really sounds like a nightmare.
he is not. He's having a bad nightmare. So this is our Danielle D. Nicolo A cover. Then we have our Francesco Mattina variant.
It just looks cool.
Yeah, the Mattina covers on all these look really great. And then Jason Sean Alexander on this cover, and then of course our Dustin Nguyen Midnight variant.
Okay, next up, we've got Night Terror's HARLEYQUINN. This is going to be written by Teeny Howard and art by Hayden Sherman. And let me say, I tried to do research on this one and read the solicit, but it's one of those where Harley, they made it where Harley
Yeah.
wrote the solicit. It is nonsense. She's making jokes, but they make no sense. It's just like chaos. But what I get from this cover is like you see kind of the faceless Harley, but all the different versions of her around there. You can kind of see what her nightmare is like kind of who is she really? What version of her is the real her? So it sounds really interesting. It's like just the nuts thing. It talks about that there's a new psychiatrist, but her name is like if you just rearrange the letters of Harley Quinn into another
Okay.
name and just nut stuff. But you know you'll love this one. It's Harley Quinn. This is our A cover. We've got our Jenny Frizen variant. And we have our, I believe this is the Lotte variant. Is that what you're seeing?
I can check. Yeah, Jenny Prison and I don't know. It's not.
This one kind of popped out of nowhere, but looks really cool.
Yeah.
And then we have our Midnight variant.
And we also have Night Terror's Punchline #1. The details on this one are a little bit lighter. It just says that Punchline is being hunted in her nightmare world, and she'll be forced to face her deepest, darkest fear in true horror movie fashion. So I don't know if it's going to be maybe like a slasher is chasing her or something, but we don't know what's hunting her and why. But it should be cool to find out. We have our Yannick Paquette. No, that's I'm sorry, I read the wrong one. This is our Gleb Melnikov A cover. We also have our Ben Oliver variant. That one's a little creepy. Otto Schmidt. That one's words. And then our Dustin Nguyen Midnight variant.
Then we've got Night Terror's Superman. So I feel like this is a big one. The Trinity are kind of a big part of this. So the Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman stories are kind of like going to be big key ones to this. And it says in Superman's nightmare, he is going to the haunted nightly planet instead of the daily planet. He's going to the nightly planet where he is going to come face to face with the Super Reaper. Which I feel like that might be one of the characters we see on the variant cover. Sounds really cool though. Just I saw the name Super Reaper. I was like, that sounds like a character. So this is by Joshua Williamson, which is awesome. That's your ongoing Superman writer, so you get the continuation of that. And the art is by Tom Riley. This is our cover. And I wonder if this is maybe the Super Reaper. This is the Mattina variant, the Ward variant, and then Nguyen Midnight variant.
And then Night Terror's Titans #1. This is in the Nightmare Realm, obviously, the Titans versus the Terror Titans. So that should be pretty cool. And we get a warped version of Titan's Tower in this, I guess, as well.
Mean eyes.
Yeah. So that should be really fun. This is the Yannick Paquette variant. I was looking at the wrong thing a minute ago. We have our Alvaro Martinez Bueno B cover. That one looks. Titan's Tower is not having a good time there. Christian Ward C cover here. That's creepy. And then our Dustin Nguyen Midnight variant.
Lastly, we've got Night Terror's Wonder Woman. So this is by Josie Campbell and art by Juan Ferreira. And in this one, another one that sounds like they are outside of the nightmare realm or whatever, because Wonder Woman is teaming up with Detective Chimp as they are going into they're investigating the Hall of Justice, kind of a corrupted version of the Hall of Justice, and Wonder Woman's going to have to re-team up with her friends in the Justice League Dark. So that she had that short time where she was a member of Justice League Dark, going to be calling up on all of them to help her solve what happened at the Hall of Justice. So sounds really cool. I
Yeah.
love the Justice League Dark. Even on the cover, there's kind of like zombie versions of them. This is our A cover. I believe this is a Jay Lee cover. Then we have our Matina variant. So the Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman all
Yeah.
have this very similar Matina
Yeah.
cover. We have our Inhyuk Lee variant and our Nguyen variant.
And this one should be interesting because the Zatanna book where she teams up with Robot Man, they are supposed to be protecting Wonder Woman and Detective Chimp. So I don't know. I wonder if they are awake, or maybe this
Or
takes
maybe
place
they're in
after that.
or they're maybe, I guess they could be in a nightmare version of uh the Fall of Justice.
Yeah.
But so far we haven't heard about like characters teaming up in a
Right.
nightmare.
Oh
So
yeah.
that kind of seems a
Yeah.
little weird, but I don't know. Sounds really exciting. And so this is all of our uh other number ones for Night Terrors. So you've got quite a few of them to pick through. Definitely let your store know, like I said, which ones you want, which variant covers you want. It's going to be another thing that's hard to order is figuring out which variants and how many of them, all of that. So let your store know by this Sunday so they can place their orders for DC Night Terrors, the mini series. So thank you so much for watching Comics from the Future. Like I said, get all your orders in, let your store know. All the communication in the world helps them help you make sure you don't miss anything. So thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to tune in on Monday when we do our early comics preview show. We'll be going over all the stuff that comes out this coming week. We're gonna read them, tell you about what's going on with them and which ones you should pick out.
And don't forget, if you need to pre-order these, if you don't have an LCS
Yes.
from which to pre-order this from, you can pre-order them from infinityflux.net. Just you can go on, you can browse all the different publishers, you can see everything that's up for pre-order. You can create a pull list if you want to. You can pick whichever covers you want, and then if you do that, you will get 10% off your order. And then when these are released, they will be shipped directly to you.
Exactly. So, thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time,
See you later.
bye.